Encounter, the Sister of Pain. As you and your group of adventurers travel through the dense forest, you suddenly hear the sounds of battle up ahead. You cautiously approach, and what you see takes your breath away. A lone Sister of Pain is engaged in combat with a group of bandits, her unarmed body a blur of motion as she takes them down one by one. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the Sister of Pain is a formidable opponent, her strength and skill far beyond what any ordinary human could possess. However, she is also suffering from multiple wounds, her body covered in cuts and bruises. You watch in horror as she takes down half of the bandits, her face a mask of fierce determination. As the bandits regroup and prepare for a final assault, the Sister of Pain seems to sense that her time is running out. She takes a deep breath, and with a final burst of energy, she charges into the fray, taking down the remaining bandits with a flurry of blows. As the dust settles, the Sister of Pain collapses to the ground, a look of ecstasy on her face. It is clear that she has given her all in this final battle, and has achieved the ultimate goal of the Sisters of Pain to serve as a sacrifice to their deity. You and your group approach the Sister of Pain, and as you look into her peaceful face, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and respect for this extraordinary woman and her unwavering devotion. Despite her suffering and her wounds, she has triumphed over her enemies, and has fulfilled her sacred duty. As you draw closer, you hear the Sister of Pain's last words, spoken in a faint but steady voice. I am grateful for the opportunity to serve our deity, and to offer my pain and my suffering in her name. May my sacrifice be accepted, and may I find peace in her embrace. With a final sigh, the Sister of Pain closes her eyes. But just as you think it is too late, you realize that the Sister of Pain is still alive, albeit barely. You know that the Sister of Pain's death is inevitable, and that there is nothing you can or should do to prevent it. Encounter, Sister's Prayer. As you and your group of adventurers travel through the dense forest, you suddenly hear the sound of a woman singing a haunting, beautiful melody. The song is unlike anything you've ever heard before, and you can't help but be drawn to it. You follow the sound to a clearing, where you find a Sister of Pain standing alone, her arms raised to the sky as she sings her song of devotion. The Sister of Pain is clad in the traditional garb of her order, her body covered in scars and bruises from her many flagellations. She is holding a small, intricately carved wooden prayer box in her hands, and as she sings, she lifts the lid of the box and begins to recite a prayer. Oh, Goddess of Pain and Suffering! Accept my body and my soul, as I offer them up to you. In your holy name. May my suffering be a testament to your glory. And may it bring me closer to you. As I embrace the pain that you have chosen for me. Grant me the strength and the courage to bear my suffering with grace and dignity, and to find solace in your loving arms. I am yours, O Goddess. Forever and always. Your devoted servant and acolyte. As Sister Helen finishes her prayer and closes the lid of her prayer box, she smiles and takes your hand. I am grateful to have met you, travelers, she says. May the Goddess bless your journey, and may you find the strength and the courage to bear your own pain and suffering with grace and dignity. Encounter, the Ceremony of Pain. As you and your group of adventurers make your way through the dark, winding streets of the city, you come across a group of Sisters of Pain in the midst of a flagellation ceremony. The sisters are clad in their traditional garb, their bodies covered in scars and bruises from their many flagellations. They stand in a circle, each one holding a whip or a flail in her hand, as they sing and recite prayers to their goddess. The ceremony typically takes place in a consecrated space, such as a chapel or a temple, and is led by a senior member of the order, often a sister who has undergone many flagellations and has achieved a high level of spiritual enlightenment. The ceremony is open to the public, and visitors are welcome to observe and to participate, as long as they do so with respect and reverence. In the center of the circle stands Sister Mary, a senior member of the order. She is naked, her body exposed and vulnerable as she undergoes the rite of self-inflicted pain and suffering. Sister Mary's face is twisted in ecstasy as the other sisters take turns flogging her, each one lashing her with all her might. Each sister is given a set number of lashes, and the senior sister must endure as many as she can bear before collapsing in exhaustion. As you watch the ceremony, you feel a sense of awe and reverence wash over you. You can't help but be moved by the sisters' devotion and their willingness to endure such intense suffering for their goddess. Despite the pain and the blood, Sister Mary seems to be in a state of bliss, and you can see the joy and the peace in her eyes as she embraces her suffering. As the ceremony comes to an end, Sister Mary collapses to the ground, her body trembling with exhaustion. The other sisters gather around her, singing and praying as they tend to her wounds and offer her comfort. As you and your group approach, Sister Mary looks up at you with a smile and takes your hand. "Thank you for witnessing our ceremony," she says, her voice weak but full of love. "May the goddess bless you and guide you on your journey, and may you find the strength and the courage to embrace your own pain and suffering with grace and dignity." With that, Sister Mary closes her eyes and drifts off into a peaceful sleep, surrounded by the love and the devotion of her sisters. You are left with a sense of inspiration and enlightenment, and you know that Sister Mary's memory and her message will stay with you always. Encounter, Sisters of Pain in Battle, Reaping Souls. As the party travels through the kingdom, they come across a battlefield where a fierce battle is raging between two rival armies. In the midst of the fighting, they see a group of Sisters of Pain who are fighting with incredible skill and ferocity. The sisters are armed with their distinctive flails and whips, and they fight with a holy zeal, striking down enemy soldiers left and right with each blow of their weapons. They are also aided by their powerful faith and devotion, which seem to give them an extra edge in battle. As the sisters fight, the party sees strange visions of the souls of the fallen soldiers leaving their bodies and being drawn towards a land of death and darkness. They realize that the sisters are not just fighting to protect their own lives, but are also performing the sacred ritual of reaping. As the party watches the battle unfold, they see the Sisters of Pain moving among the fallen soldiers, their flails and whips flashing through the air as they fight with a holy zeal. Each blow of their weapons strikes down another enemy soldier, and the party can see the pain and ecstasy on the faces of the sisters as they complete the sacred ritual of reaping. The sisters approach the fallen soldiers and whisper prayers over them, invoking the power of their deity to reap the souls of the unworthy. The party can see the bodies of the fallen writhing in the throes of spiritual ecstasy as their souls are drawn towards the land of death and darkness. Despite the chaos and violence of the battle, the sisters seem to be in a state of intense focus and devotion, their eyes fixed on the sky above as they complete the ritual. The party can see the fierce determination on their faces as they fight on, determined to reap as many souls as possible before the battle ends. As the sisters continue to fight and reap, the party is faced with a choice: do they intervene and risk their own lives to help the sisters, or do they stay out of the fray and let fate take its course? If the party decides to intervene, they will have to fight off the enemy soldiers and protect the sisters as they continue to battle and reap the souls of the fallen. If they succeed, the sisters will be grateful and may offer them their blessings and their guidance. However, if the party fails, they may find themselves caught up in a dangerous and deadly battle with no way out. Additional encounters. Here are a few more ideas for encounters with the Sisters of Pain. The party stumbles upon a group of sisters performing a flagellation ceremony in a small village square. The sisters are surrounded by a crowd of curious onlookers, and the party can choose to either observe from a distance or join in the ceremony. The party is hired by a wealthy merchant to protect him and his caravan as they travel through a dangerous region of the countryside. As they journey, they are ambushed by a group of bandits who are quickly defeated by a group of sisters who happen to be nearby. The party is captured by a group of enemy soldiers and taken to a remote convent of the Sisters of Pain. There, they are confronted by the Mother Superior, a formidable sister who interrogates them and decides their fate. The party comes across a sister who has been severely injured in battle and is on the verge of death. They must decide whether to leave her to her fate or risk their own lives to try and save her. The party is invited to attend a secret meeting with a group of sisters who are planning to rebel against the oppressive rulers of their country. The party must decide whether to join the rebellion or stay out of it and let fate take its course. The party is hired by a wealthy noble to retrieve a valuable artifact that is believed to be hidden in a remote convent of the sisters. As they search for the artifact, they must navigate the treacherous political landscape of the convent and avoid the wrath of the sisters. The party comes across a group of bandits who have captured a sister and are holding her for ransom. The party must decide whether to pay the ransom or try to rescue the sister and risk their own lives. The party stumbles upon a sister who is being chased by a group of undead androids. More about the androids later. The sister begs for their help, and the party must decide whether to fight the androids or leave the sister to her fate. The party is hired by a group of rebels to infiltrate a convent of the sisters and steal a powerful magical artifact that is being guarded by the sisters. The party must use their cunning and stealth to evade the sisters and escape with the artifact. The party comes across a group of sisters who are being attacked by a powerful demon. The party must decide whether to help the sisters or stay out of it and let fate take its course.